Hey man, if you're going through a breakup right now, I want you to stop scrolling. I want you to pause everything, just for a moment. This isn't one of those motivational speeches that tells you to move on, or focus on the gym, or just let her go. No, this is deeper than that. Because if you're hurting right now, if you're lying in bed staring at the ceiling wondering what the hell happened, why she left, why she changed, or why you're not enough, then I need to speak to the part of you that's been screaming in silence. The part of you that's too proud to cry in front of your boys but is dying inside. The part of you that gave everything and still wasn't chosen. I see you. And I know it's dark. Let me tell you something they never say out loud. Heartbreak doesn't just hurt, it rewires you. It changes how you see love. It breaks your innocence. It makes you question whether you'll ever open your heart again. That's what nobody tells you about pain like this. It's not just sadness, it's confusion. It's rage, it's fear, and above all, it's grief. You're not just mourning the person, you're mourning the future you pictured with her. The plans, the late night calls, the I love yous that now sound like lies. That version of you, the hopeful one, the trusting one, he's bleeding. And maybe right now, you feel like you'll never get him back. But here's the truth that hits like a sledgehammer. Sometimes, the person who broke you is the one you beg to love you more. And that's the cruel part of it all. You showed up, you tried, you compromised, you stayed when you should have walked, you listened when you should have spoken. You loved her through her mood swings, her coldness, her confusion. You made excuses for the way she started pulling away. You ignored your gut because you believed in her heart. And now that she's gone, you're stuck playing every memory like a movie in your head, wondering which moment was the beginning of the end. Let me tell you, brother, the hardest part isn't the breakup itself, it's the silence that follows. It's the ghost town she leaves behind. The unread messages, the routine you had that now feels empty, the bed that used to hold her scent, now colder than ever. It's that moment when you wake up, half asleep, reaching for her hand, only to remember she's not there. And that's when the wave hits. That feeling of loss that has no shape, but takes up all the space inside your chest. That feeling that makes food taste like nothing, that makes music hurt, that makes every sunset feel like the end of something you didn't want to end. But here's what you must understand. This pain you're feeling, it's not a weakness. It's not something to rush through or numb or run from. It's evidence. Evidence that you loved, that you cared, that you were present in a world where most people are too afraid to feel anything real. That's rare now. Don't shame yourself for having a heart. Don't regret loving fully, because the version of you that hurts this deeply, he's the version of you that tried, and that man will rise again. But first, he's got to break, because in that breaking, something stronger gets built. You see, every man has a moment like this, a moment that breaks him down to nothing, a moment where he stares at the wall and questions everything, his worth, his path, his purpose. And in that moment, he has two choices. One, to spiral, to lose himself in self-pity, to chase after her, to beg, to become a shadow of who he once was. Or two, to sit in that darkness, face it, and become, not for her, not for revenge, but because he knows this pain is a test of identity, a test of self-love, a test of whether he will build a life that makes her exit look like a blessing in disguise. So if she left you, let her go. If she betrayed you, don't chase closure. If she replaced you, don't compete. You don't need to fight for space in someone's life who is willing to throw you out of it, because the moment she walked, she told you everything you needed to know. And I know that burns. I know it's hard to accept. But when someone shows you they can live without you, you learn to live without them. Not because it's easy, but because your soul deserves peace. Because your future deserves someone who doesn't leave when things get heavy. And because you deserve someone who chooses you on your worst day, not just your best one. Let this moment break you. Let it humble you. Let it crack the ego, the fantasy, the illusion. Let it strip you of the lies you told yourself about who she was. Because the truth is, the woman you loved might not be the woman she really was. And that's not your fault. That's just part of the heartbreak process. Realizing that we fall in love with potential, not patterns. That we cling to memories, not momentum. And sometimes, the person we imagined them to be never existed. So don't mourn the illusion, mourn what's real, and then bury it with honor and walk away. This isn't the end of you. This is the unraveling before the becoming. This is the cocoon before the wings. This is the pain that turns boys into men, that turns softness into steel, that turns desperation into direction. And it doesn't happen overnight. You'll still have nights where the silence is deafening. You'll still think about her when you least expect it. You'll still wonder if she thinks about you too. And that's okay. Healing isn't linear, it's a spiral. But the further you walk from the wreckage, the more you realize everything that left you was clearing the way for everything that's coming. So here's what you do now. You show up for yourself every single day, even when it hurts. Especially when it hurts. You get up, you train, you eat, you read, you build, you cry in silence if you have to, but you never stay down. Because she may have left, but your purpose didn't. Your vision didn't, your future didn't. And when the dust settles, when you look back at this season of pain, you'll thank it. Not because it was fair, but because it forced you to become someone she could never break again. The man who rises, not despite the pain, but because of it. You know what's wild? You'll reach a point where you stop hoping she texts you. You stop refreshing your messages. You stop checking her stories, her posts, her status. Not because you forced yourself to stop caring, but because your soul finally caught up to the truth. She's gone. And not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. The bond you thought was eternal, it broke the moment you were no longer her emotional high. And when that realization sinks in, it hurts, but it also frees you. You realize you don't have to perform anymore. You don't have to shrink yourself to fit her fantasy. You get to be you again. Here's what most men don't understand until it's too late. Women don't fall out of love overnight. They detach slowly in silence while you're still invested. They smile while planning their exit. They kiss you goodnight while imagining someone else. They don't leave when things get bad. They leave when they get bored, when they feel unseen, when the dopamine stops hitting. So while you were solving problems, she was slipping away. And now you're left with all the pieces she quietly discarded. And the most painful part? You thought everything was fine. That's why it cuts so deep. But listen to me closely. This doesn't make you weak. Feeling pain doesn't make you less of a man. It makes you real. The kind of real this world desperately needs. Because what's the alternative? Numbing yourself with distraction? Pretending you don't care while dying inside? No, brother. That's not healing. That's running. And you can only run from your pain until it catches up with you. So face it. Look it dead in the eye and say, "You will not break me," because pain is part of the process. You have to bleed before you can breathe again. You have to lose her to find yourself. And when you do find yourself again, when you finally rebuild, you'll laugh at what you once tolerated. You'll shake your head at the excuses you made. You'll feel embarrassed by how hard you tried for someone who never truly valued you. And that's not shame. That's growth. That's wisdom. That's the price of transformation. You'll start to see love differently, not as a feeling, but as a choice. Not as butterflies, but as consistency. You'll want less chaos and more peace, less drama, more depth. And the next time you give your heart, it'll be guarded, not because you're bitter, but because you're no longer blind. You'll stop romanticizing the past. You'll stop replaying what ifs, because you'll finally realize that anyone who could leave you at your lowest was never meant for your highest. She wasn't your person, she was your lesson. A reminder to stop loving people who don't love themselves. A warning to stop giving second chances to first-time disrespect. A nudge from the universe that said, you're built for more. And when that clicks, when you no longer chase what broke you, that's when you win. That's when the pain starts to serve you instead of control you. That's when you become untouchable. You want to know what power looks like? It's not moving on fast. It's not dating someone new. It's waking up one morning and realizing you're at peace. No resentment, no longing, just peace. That's real closure. Not something she gives you, but something you give yourself. Because closure isn't about answers. It's about acceptance. It's about saying, I may never understand why she changed, but I'm done trying. That's the moment you take your power back. That's the moment you stop being the broken version of yourself and start becoming the man you were always meant to be. And let's talk about that man, the man you're becoming. He's dangerous, but not reckless. He's kind, but not a doormat. He's loving, but not naive. He knows his worth now. He's not afraid to walk away. He's not chasing love. He's building a life so powerful that love wants to find him. And when it does, he won't lose himself in it. He won't beg for attention. He won't tolerate games. He'll love with intention, not desperation. And that version of you, he's rising from the ashes as we speak. Every tear, every heartbreak, every sleepless night, it's building him. So don't rush this. Don't try to skip the process. Healing isn't linear. Some days you'll feel unstoppable. Other days, you'll want to call her. You'll want to go back to what's familiar. Don't. Because you're not that man anymore. That version of you died when she left, and you're reborn in every choice you make from here on out. Reborn in every boundary you set. Reborn in every moment you choose peace over pain. Reborn in every step you take toward becoming the man who doesn't need love to feel whole, but who attracts it effortlessly because he finally loves himself. You're going to outgrow her, and not in a spiteful way, but in a quiet, powerful, poetic. One day, you'll walk into a room, and your presence will feel different. You'll carry a calm that no longer needs validation, a strength that doesn't have to prove itself, and the people who once overlooked you, they'll feel it. She'll feel it. She'll see the man she could have had, but she won't recognize him anymore, because he's no longer seeking her approval. He's no longer available for her confusion. He's no longer the boy waiting for closure. He's the man who became the closure. This is your turning point, right here, right now. This heartbreak, it's not your ending, it's your beginning. The pain you're feeling, it's the doorway to your evolution. Walk through it. Don't crawl. Don't beg. Don't look back. Rise. With every scar, every tear, every ounce of strength you can muster, rise. And build a life so rich in purpose, so full of peace, that no woman ever gets to be your destruction again. She was the storm, but you are the mountain. And the mountain never chases what crumbles at its feet. There's gonna come a moment when you're sitting in silence, maybe at night, maybe in the middle of your grind, and you'll remember something simple about her. A laugh, a look, a message she once sent. And for a second, it might break you all over again. It'll punch you in the chest. You'll feel the wave come over you. And in that moment, you'll be tempted to relive it, to text her, to revisit what's already died. But don't. Let that moment pass through you. Let it hurt, because pain is not the enemy. Clinging is. And the more you learn to sit with that pain without reacting to it, the stronger you become. That's the foundation of emotional strength, stillness in chaos. Every man who's ever built something great, peace, wealth, legacy, he's walked through heartbreak. That wound on your chest, it's sacred ground. You don't need to hide it, you honor it. That scar is your reminder that you loved fully, that you were vulnerable, that you gave something real. Most people go through life guarded, closed off, half alive, but not you. You felt, you lost, and now you rise. That's the hero's arc. The man who's been shattered but still walks with his head high. He's not bitter, he's better. And that's the kind of strength you can't fake. That's the strength that builds empires. Understand this, your healing is not just about you. It's about every man who's watching you. Your younger brother, your son, your friends who don't yet have the words for what they're feeling. You're showing them what strength actually looks like, not stoicism in the face of suffering, but transformation through it. You're showing them that a man doesn't crumble just because love failed, that he doesn't lose himself just because she stopped loving him. You're teaching them what it means to be grounded, even when everything around you falls apart. That kind of leadership, it's rare, it's powerful, it's unforgettable. She might come back. One day, she might pop up in your DMs. She might tell you she misses you, that she didn't realize what she had, that she made a mistake. Don't let the illusion fool you. She's not missing you. She's missing the man who once made her feel something when she was lost. She's not returning to build. She's returning to borrow your energy again. And this time, you must know better. You don't let someone re-enter your life just because they remember your light. You protect your peace. You protect your growth. You remember what it cost you to heal. Healing is a long road. Some days you'll feel like you've moved on. Other days, her name will still echo in your mind. That's okay. Progress isn't perfect. You're not aiming to erase her. You're aiming to reclaim you, bit by bit, day by day. You'll notice it when you stop checking her socials, when you no longer fantasize about proving her wrong, when you finally sleep through the night without your chest tightening. These are the small victories. Celebrate them, because they're not small at all. They're proof that you're finally letting go, not of her, but of who you were when you needed her. It's funny how a woman can leave, and suddenly everything you gave starts to feel like a mistake. But that's a lie. Your broken heart tells you what you gave was real. What you offered was genuine, and that matters. Even if she didn't value it. You are not weak because you loved. You are not foolish because you hoped. You are not broken because you cared. You are a man who risked his heart, and that is strength. Anyone can walk away, but not everyone can love deeply and still choose themselves in the end. That's what separates the grounded from the lost. That's what makes you rare. You will attract better, but only if you become better, not bitter. Better. You'll attract a woman who values your consistency, your silence, your strength, not just your attention. But that won't happen if you keep replaying the past, hoping for a different ending. Let go of the story. Rewrite a new one where you don't chase, one where you don't explain, one where you don't prove, a story where you lead your own life, with or without her, and watch, when you stop needing love to feel whole, the kind of love that shows up will be real. This is not the end of your story, it's just the end of a chapter, a painful, necessary, soul-defining chapter. But what comes next? That's entirely in your hands. Will you repeat the cycle with a new face and the same old patterns, or will you rise so completely that the next woman either levels up or leaves quietly? Because the man you're becoming, he doesn't settle, he doesn't dim his light, he doesn't carry dead weight, he walks with power and peace and precision. And that man builds a kingdom, not a cage. Let her go. Not because she was awful, not because you hate her, but because your soul outgrew the chaos. You grew tired of emotional gymnastics. You grew tired of not being chosen fully, of being an option, not a priority, of having to earn something that should have been reciprocated. And that clarity, that quiet, I'm done, it's the moment your real life begins. Because love without respect isn't love, it's performance, and you're done performing. You're building for yourself, for your future, for the woman who's strong enough to meet you there one day. So here's the final truth. You survived. And not just barely, you're still here, reading this, breathing, evolving. You are not broken, you're being rebuilt. You are not abandoned, you've been set free. You are not unloved, you are learning to love yourself deeper than any woman ever could. And from that place, from that sacred, grounded place, you will create something extraordinary, a life that needs no validation, a presence that bends rooms, a heart that loves without losing itself. You are the comeback story, and your next chapter, it's going to make the pain worth it. There's a version of you right now that still aches to be understood, still wants closure, still thinks she owes you one last explanation. But let me tell you the truth. No one wants to admit you don't need closure from her. You need clarity within yourself. Because what she didn't say speaks just as loudly as what she did. Her silence, her leaving, her indifference, that was the answer. And when you finally stop begging for her to make sense of the pain she caused, you'll reclaim the power she stole just by walking away without looking back. Every night you go to sleep thinking of what could have been, you postpone what will be. And I know it's not easy to break that loop. The memory reel is addicting, but memory is not reality. You're not in that relationship anymore. You're not that same man. You've been through fire. And that fire wasn't meant to destroy you. It was meant to purify you. Strip away the dependency, burn off the illusions, leave behind only what's real. And what's real now is that your future doesn't need her in it. It needs you, stronger, wiser, untouchable. The most dangerous thing a man can do after a breakup is try to return to who he was before her. Don't. That version of you wasn't good enough. Not for her. Not for what's ahead. That man tolerated confusion. That man second-guessed his gut. That man thought he had to earn love. But the man who emerges from this pain, he's different. He knows what he brings. He doesn't apologize for his standards. He doesn't soften just to be accepted. He builds, not begs. And any woman who enters his life now will know this man is not to be fumbled. Here's what you'll learn the hard way. Not every woman who comes with intensity comes with intention. Some will love the way you make them feel, not the man you truly are. Some will feed off your energy like it's a drug and disappear when the high wears off. But you'll stop being angry at them. You'll start being discerning. You'll vet, you'll test, you'll watch patterns, not promises. Because once you've been broken by love, you don't close your heart, you build a gate. And only the worthy get through it. You're going to scare women now. Not because you're cruel, but because you've become clear. Clear in your yes, clear in your no, clear in your purpose, clear in your energy. Women are used to men being soft, unsure, easy to sway. But you're not that man anymore. You've seen what losing yourself does. You felt the cost of giving too much. So now, you give wisely. You love with boundaries. You don't chase validation. And because of that, the women who try to control, manipulate, or test you, they'll fall away fast. The day will come when you thank her. Not out loud, not in a message, but silently, in your soul. You'll look around at the man you've become, the peace you've built, the power in your voice, and you'll realize you wouldn't be here if she hadn't left. Her absence forced your transformation. Her betrayal was your awakening. Her silence gave birth to your voice. And while she may never know the depth of the impact she had, you will. And you'll carry that knowledge with you, not as a scar, but as a badge of honor. Most people will tell you you'll love again, but I'm telling you, you'll love yourself better. And from that place, love won't feel like a sacrifice. It won't feel like a risk. It won't come with anxiety, games, or confusion. It will feel earned. It will feel steady, because a man who knows who he is cannot be shaken by who leaves him. He knows that every ending is just a redirection. Every loss clears the path for someone better. And when you live with that mindset, love isn't something you chase. It's something you choose, from power, not pain. There will be temptations to fall back, to check her profile, to text her, to see if she still cares. But every time you do, you undo a layer of your healing. You reopen a door you've already walked through. And the truth is, she might be watching. She might be hoping you'll reach out. Not because she wants you back, but because your attention fuels her comfort. Don't give it to her. Let her sit with the silence. Let her wonder how you're doing. Let her feel the full weight of what she lost. That's not revenge, that's growth. You're not bitter, you're not broken, you're just finally awake. You're awake to the games, awake to the illusions, awake to your own worth. And from this point forward, every relationship, every conversation, every commitment, it will be filtered through your new lens. A lens of standards, not scarcity. A lens of strength, not softness. A lens of value, not validation. Because this breakup wasn't just a heartbreak, it was your rebirth. And the man who's walking out of this, he's not looking for love. He's creating a life so full, so powerful, that love must rise to meet him or miss out entirely. To anyone going through a breakup, I see you. I know the silence you sit in. I know the nights that don't end. I know the mornings that feel empty. But I also know this, you will not stay here. You are rising with every breath, with every choice, with every moment you resist reaching out and instead reach inward. You are building the kind of strength that makes women wonder how they ever lost you. And when you arrive at that next chapter full of power, purpose, and peace, you'll realize she didn't break you. She built you.